Grad student workers come to an agreement with USC, averting a strike. A bargaining team member tells us the details.
Hamas releases more hostages. Israel releases more prisoners. An expert on Middle Eastern affairs shares his insights on the situation.
There's no better way to get into the holiday spirit than with food, music, and an absolutely massive Christmas tree.
Annenberg TV News is next.
After weeks of threatening a strike, USC graduate student workers finally reached a tentative agreement. Hi, I'm Tess Patton.
I'm Stephen Noble. In an email last night, the dean of the USC Grad School announced the tentative contract. The strike would have started tomorrow.
Nearly 3,000 unionized graduate student workers reached a tentative agreement with USC that would significantly raise their minimum stipend. They have been negotiating for about 6 months. In an email to faculty, USC Graduate School Dean Andrew Stott said, quote, "Faculty who made strike plans for classes or labs, such as modifying a final exam, assignment, or grading policy, are free either to revert to their original plans or to continue with the modification." We spoke with Dean Stott about the agreement.
I just want to say how pleased I am that we've been able to reach a contract agreement with the graduate students. This is historic for USC because it's the very first contract we've ever had with graduate student workers. And it's also historic because we are the very first private research institution in the state of California to have a graduate student worker contract. This now places USC as among the premier institutions in the country for doctoral education, and that's exactly where it belongs.
The tentative agreement would provide a $400 wage supplement and wage increases, raise the minimum stipend by over 24% over the next 4 years, and provide protections against harassment and discrimination.
I feel really excited about it. Something I'm very proud of is our article on discrimination in employment. This is not a contract for me. This is a contract for people who are going to be here for years to come. So I'm really excited to know that they have a guarantee that they aren't going to get left behind.
The tentative agreement has yet to be ratified by graduate student workers. A ratification vote will take place from December 4th to the 6th.
4 groups of hostages have been released by Israel and Hamas since Friday. Hamas released a number of hostages of varying ages, and they're all women and children. Israel released a number of Palestinian prisoners, and many of them were also women and children.
We must keep working until all the hostages are free. We must continue working here in the Senate to pass humanitarian aid for innocent civilians in Gaza. And we must ensure that Israel has the aid it needs to defend itself against the threat of the terrorist organization Hamas.
The United States played a large role in the negotiations between Israel and Hamas. Politicians, including Senate Majority Leader Schumer and President Biden, pushed for a ceasefire and the return of hostages. So far, under the truce, Hamas has released 50 Israeli hostages and 19 hostages from other countries. 150 Palestinians have been released from Israeli prisons. We spoke with an expert on the Middle East to better understand the truth from both sides.
For Hamas, this allows them to buy time. This allows them to engage with the Israelis on an equal basis, not as a terrorist organization, but as representative of a government-like organization. The Israelis have a strategy that is really unworkable. On the one hand, what they want to do is get the hostages back. On the other hand, they want to destroy Hamas. They can't have it both ways. If you destroy Hamas, who are you going to negotiate with?
Today, Israel and Hamas agreed to extend their humanitarian pause by 2 days. A senior advisor to the Israeli prime minister said Hamas is expected to release 10 Israeli hostages each day under the new agreement.
Detectives are working to determine the motive for the shooting of 3 Palestinian college students in Vermont over the weekend. Police are investigating it as a potential hate crime. All 3 are now hospitalized, with one of them injured seriously. The 20-year-old students went to Brown University, Haverford College, and Trinity College and were visiting a friend near the University of Vermont campus. The man arrested and charged with attempted murder pleaded not guilty today. Islamophobia is growing in America. There's been a 216% increase in complaints to the Council on American Islamic Relations since October 7th.
Suspect walked up to them and shot them. They weren't robbed. They weren't mugged. It was a targeted shooting and a targeted crime. They were wearing the keffiyeh. So the fact that they were wearing this and then fell victim to a shooter leads us to believe that that played a role, their identity played a role in them being targeted.
Vermont State Attorney Sarah George said there is currently not enough evidence for a hate crime charge, but authorities will continue to investigate.
It's that time of year again as USC students prepare for finals week, and that means student stress levels are rising, with many feeling overwhelmed or burned out.
It's pretty daunting. There's a lot of work going on right now. I think a lot of my classes are more project focused, so this week is going to be worse than my actual finals week. But yeah, I think this semester just feels like it's gone really fast, so that's why I'm a little bit more nervous.
I'm a little overwhelmed. It's definitely going to be my most intense finals week I've had since I've been in college, but I think it's going to happen one way or another.
80% of college students reported feeling overwhelmed by burnout, and 40% reported having difficulty functioning due to burnout. That's according to the National College Health Assessment. During such a stressful time, it's important for students to learn how to manage stress and prioritize their mental health. We spoke with an expert at Mindful USC, the free mindfulness center on campus.
During finals, people tend to be more depleted. They tend to take less good care of themselves because they're not getting as much sleep. They're not eating as balanced a diet as they may do at other times. And they're not sort of out in the world doing things that bring them joy, pleasure, a sense of ease because they're studying. Tending to yourself with some kindness during this time goes a really long way.
It is important that students remember to prioritize themselves and their mental health as finals begin next Wednesday. Good luck, Trojans.
Well, after finals, at least we have something to look forward to with the winter break coming up. Malcolm, you look like you're in a pretty festive area. What's happening over there?
Thanks, Tess. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. I'm standing outside in downtown Los Angeles at the Jerry Ross Plaza. You can tell there's a lot of people. There's some speakers. There's also a bell choir going on. The festival out here has turned into an absolute winter wonderland, just preparing for the holiday season and for the annual tree lighting ceremony. The festival will feature special performances by a local mariachi band and the Valley Christian Handbell Choir. And for the first time in the ceremony's history, art-making activities and a marketplace featuring artisans and vendors selling goods to help put Angelenos in the holiday spirit, ending with the lighting of the towering 50-foot Christmas tree.
For the past 25 plus years, we've partnered with Los Angeles County to host the annual tree lighting ceremony. This year, we're super excited because we're not only welcoming the public for this free event, but we've also expanded it to include a holiday marketplace and art activities so folks can participate and enjoy the supervisor's greetings as well as the annual lighting of the tree.
The free event is open from 5 to 8 p.m., open to the public. Come by for some complimentary hot chocolate, some wonderful music, excellent vibes, and indulge in this part of the time of the year that makes it my favorite. Ho, 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 and happy holidays. From Annenberg Media, I'm Malcolm Caminero, sending it back to y'all in the studio.
Thank you, Malcolm. A USC student film will screen. We'll sit down with the producer and lead actor to tell us more.
Are you a fan of hip-hop and art? Tonight we'll take you to an exhibit that showcases a major appreciation for both.
A singer and songwriter will join us live to talk about her upcoming album and more. All coming up next on ATVN.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latine voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all. Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dime la Hora.
Radio and Podcasting.
Comida y cultura.
Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo, we have it all.
Dímelo, we have it all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. And now grow a whole collection of fun with Chia teddy bears, puppies, kittens, rams, bulls. There's even a chia tree to keep your pets company. Chia Pets and Trees, the pottery that grows.
The Chia Pet and Chia Tree are available at Kmart, Rite Aid, Ames, and Woolworth. Makes a great gift.
A scary USC student film, All Alone Together, will debut a week from today. The movie follows a tormented filmmaker who reaches a new level of success, but is haunted by the horrors in his film. Let's take a look. I'm sitting here now with the producer and writer of the film, and they both happen to actually be in it. Thank you guys so much for being here. The film looks great.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So what do you want people to know prior to seeing the film going in?
Well, I think like any psychological thriller, the film will pose many questions, but I think it's really up to the individual based on their own experiences to really
like watching it on this
study them.
Exactly.
And this is a student film, and there's a lot of obstacles that come with that. What is it like making a film as a student?
Right, you know, making this movie was really tough.
Film.
Oh, sorry, film, yes. Making the film was tough because, you know, we were balancing the resources that we had available to us. Getting the $15,000 was not easy, but at the end of the day, 2 years later, we're really happy with what we have.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And the film debuts on December 4th on Monday on campus at USC, so make sure you come out and support your fellow Trojans.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, which extends far beyond just music to include fashion, film, and art. Reporter Liv Kelleher visited a local museum that's spotlighting an artist central to hip-hop culture.
Jean-Michel Basquiat is a world-renowned artist who left an enduring impact not just on art, but on the world. The King Pleasure exhibit in downtown LA is giving visitors a chance to get to know Jean-Michel through his family's eyes.
Jean-Michel is unique because even when he was alive, he was more than just an artist. He was truly an icon.
That's Sophia Loren Harivo, Basquiat's niece and a young filmmaker. Her work alongside her mom, aunt, and cousins on the King Pleasure exhibit gave Sophia the opportunity to get to know her late uncle on a deeper level.
My relationship with Jean-Michel is so evolving. By the time that I was 17 years old, 18 years old is when I started to really read the works, and they resonated in a way that felt profound every time that I looked at it versus simply breathtaking imagery.
As a young Black artist growing up in New York City, Basquiat often used his art to comment on his reality. He discussed issues of racial inequality, religion, politics, and mortality.
Jean-Michel was the type of artist that was able to take a big controversial concept like police brutality, and he's commenting on something that will emotionally evoke them, but then he's also has a lot of jest in the way that he creates artwork.
The recurring cartoon-like images in Basquiat's work, like the crown, copyright and trademark symbols, and silhouetted Black figures, have become iconic. His name and image have also inspired giants in the hip-hop industry, like Jay-Z and Kanye West.
It's so clear, it's so evident that Jean-Michel has made a profound impact on artists as a whole, especially Black artists. Black people in general, actually.
I think it's really inspiring that during a time that was predominantly white, that
we had this Black artist that was thriving, and that's still thriving to this day.
The King Pleasure exhibit is located at the Grand in downtown LA, and its residency has recently been extended through January 1st. For Annenberg Media, I'm Liv Kelleher.
Welcome back to the final edition of Harmonies in Hollywood for the semester. Today I'm joined live in the studio with an up-and-coming artist, Shekinah. Let's hear a little bit of her music first. Shekinah, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. I hear you have quite the musical background, so tell me a little bit about your inspiration.
Yeah, music has always played a prominent role in my family, starting with my father. He was in a band in his mid-20s. He was the drummer in that band, and even after that, as he got older, he was also a drummer in our local church. And then with my mom, she took up the guitar as a teenager from her father, and even until this day, she plays the guitar. And then I took up the piano at age 4, and then it wasn't until my sophomore year of high school that I thought I actually want to pursue something in the music industry.
That's awesome. What a cool background. Now that we've heard a little bit about your past, what does the future look like for you and your music?
You know, I'm just gonna go where life takes me. I still love and enjoy making music and writing music, but I also want to pursue other endeavors in the music industry, but who says I can't do both?
I love it. Shekinah, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you.
And if you want to check out more of her music, her new album, For My New Therapist, is coming out mid-December. That's a wrap on Harmonies in Hollywood for the semester. Back to you guys in the studio. Thanks, Campbell. I can't wait to listen to that new album. But until then, we have weather. Lalu, what's it look like?
Thanks, Tess, for the last time. I'm Lalu Retsimia. Let's talk about some weather. Okay, so for today's forecast, we are looking at 64 degrees and sunny. Oh my God, let me remember how to do my job a little bit. We're looking at 64 degrees and sunny. A little different than we had the week before leaving Thanksgiving break, not as rainy. Let's look at our 5-day forecast. Okay, and as you can see, we are getting into the partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. We're going to see some rain in the morning, and we're starting off the week strong with some mid to low 70s, and we're going to dip lower and lower into those mid 60s. Let's throw on some sweaters for finals week. Maybe that'll make us feel a little better. Back to sports.
Coming up on ATVN Sports, men's basketball is off to a bit of an underwhelming start. Anthony and I will talk about what we think could be the cause and what needs to change going forward. And women's basketball stays undefeated. We'll cover USC's last matchup against Penn State and take a look at what's ahead for the Trojans. And men's water polo begins NCAA tournament action this Friday against San Jose State. All these stories and more coming up on ATVN Sports.
Bonjour, je suis le grand musicien.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Yes, that's French they're speaking, and no, these children aren't French, they're American. And they've acquired their amazing new language skills from Muzzy, the remarkable new video language program for children developed by the British Broadcasting Corporation. With this unique BBC language course, children learn a second language with incredible ease. 4 delightful videos quickly become their favorite TV show and teaches children the same way they learned English. Learning another language becomes fun. You'll be amazed when your children begin speaking and understanding their new language from the very first day through this unique method. The entire course, 4 videos, 2 audio cassettes, the activity book, and the Parent's Guide and Answer book is available in French, Spanish, Italian, or German.
To order, use your credit card and call this number. We'll ship and charge you $28.08 a month for 6 months. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call 1-800-424-0700.
Okay, this stuff is really amazing. I mean, I put it in my mouth and I taste watermelon, but it's not just that. I taste strawberry too, but it's kind of like a watermelon-y strawberry put together. Hey, hang on. Sorry about that. And the bubbles are really awesome. I mean, that's why they call it Max. I guess, obviously, that sort of makes sense once you think about it. Oh, I'm Dan, and that's Chuck.
Bubba Max. A whole new kind of bubble. Hey!
Welcome to the last Monday ATVN Sports of the semester. I'm Daniel Palmore.
And I'm Anthony Bettino. Men's basketball started off hot this season with a ton of excitement around the new team.
but now their fire has died down following their second loss to Oklahoma. In the Ratty Children's Invitational Tournament, the Trojans stopped Seton Hall University from getting a comeback win in the first round, but then lost to Oklahoma, causing them to fall out of the top 25. Here's what Andy Enfield had to say about freshman Isaiah Collier.
And he tried to do too much. He took some tough shots and ill-advised turnovers, and he learned a lot this week. And I think you saw that. He's much more efficient tonight. He just has to keep getting better as a player, defensively and offensively. And he's extremely talented, but talent doesn't help your team win if it's inefficient talent.
Daniel, given how this season started out, do you think this team is all hype?
Well, Anthony, that's what it's beginning to look like at the beginning of the season. Coach Enfield just talked about it, the turnovers. Against Oklahoma, USC had 11 turnovers, and in the loss against UC Irvine, 16 turnovers. So not being able to beat the teams that USC should be able to beat based on the talent they have is definitely something that concerns me to open up the season.
Another thing with the turnovers is Isaiah Collier, the starting freshman, #1 recruit in the country, he's supposed to be a playmaker. He's supposed to be a star player, and he had 6 out of 11 turnovers. And that's simply unacceptable for any player, never mind Isaiah Collier. Despite that, though, he is still making some really great plays. He is one of our leading scorers, and I think he does have a very bright future.
And it is still a very young season, only 6 games in, and the backcourt of Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier has been as advertised, I think. Both of them are really good. I think they just need more games under their belt to really get going as the season progresses.
The future definitely still is bright, especially since the Pac-12 conference really isn't that strong this year. Right now, Arizona is the only Pac-12 team ranked. But USC has a few days to regroup until their next match against Eastern Washington on Wednesday, and then they face their toughest challenge yet, number 11 Gonzaga, on Saturday in Las Vegas.
Number 6 women's basketball keeps on stacking up victories and is now 5-0 after a thrilling 1-point victory over Penn State. The Trojans were led by Juju Watkins and Rhea Marshall, who both posted double-doubles in the win. Watkins had 31 points and 12 boards, and Marshall had 11 points and 10 rebounds as USC came out on top 71-70. Now let's take a look at the road ahead for the undefeated Trojans. The Trojans will continue their homestand against Cal Poly on Wednesday and will then play the University of San Diego on Sunday. After a week's rest, USC will play UC Riverside on Sunday, December 10th, before closing the homestand with CSU Fullerton on December 18th. USC's number 6 ranking is the Trojans' highest AP Top 25 ranking since 1994. The Trojans' next game will be against Cal Poly and will tip off on Wednesday night at 7 p.m.
As the fall sports season wraps up, the NCAA Water Polo Championship is about to start, and the Trojans are writing their comeback story. The Trojans were originally not supposed to receive a bid into the national championship, but they won the MPSF tournament, knocking off number 1 UCLA and number 2 Cal in the finals. USC is now looking to win another national championship and ride their wave of momentum into familiar waters. And that's because for the first time since 2017, USC will host the national championship tournament. And the 3-seeded Trojans will face off against San Jose in the first round, which should be an easy win. Then they need lightning to strike twice, because they will most likely face Cal and then UCLA in the finals. With home field advantage, the Trojans will have a leg up on their opponents, but it won't be an easy road to their 11th national championship.
Are you feeling left out of the loop on sports news after Thanksgiving? Don't worry, because Anthony and I will get you caught up on this week's edition of In Case You Missed It. Women's volleyball is gearing up for NCAA tournament play after ending its season with a close loss against UCLA. The Trojans finished the regular season with an 18-12 record and enter the tournament as an 8th seed and will play UMBC on Friday at 1 p.m.
USC football may not be fighting for a championship this year, but Oregon and Washington will be in the Pac-12 championship on Friday. The conference championship will be a rematch from the regular season. In their first game, the Huskies narrowly defeated the Ducks 36-33. The game should be a thriller, with both teams being led by Heisman candidate quarterbacks. And we have a third in case you missed it today. It's our last show.
That's right. We are finishing up with a slam dunk on the semester. Thank you for watching Monday ATVN Sports all semester long. I'm Daniel Palmore.
And I'm Anthony Bettino. Now let's send it over to Tess to find out your new restaurant stop.
Thank you, guys. And for tonight's Monday Munchies, we'll show you why you may want to take a break and check out a cafe near campus. Coming up next.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latina voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all.
Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dime la Hora.
Radio and Podcasting.
Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo. We have it all.
Dímelo. We have it all.
Want quality name brand carpet for less?
Call Empire and you can get quality carpet at the lowest price guaranteed. And no payments for 1 year.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. I've replaced your shoelaces with fruit by the foot.
So you did. I replaced your fingers with fruit by the foot.
Bravo. I've replaced your bones with fruit by the foot.
Indeed you have. I replaced your guitar strings with fruit by the foot.
Seems like a step backwards, but alright. I've replaced your DNA with fruit by the foot. That would be end game, my friend.
Fruit by the foot. Fruit-flavored snack.
Do you want to beat the burnout with a pick-me-up coffee? Nature's Brew might just be the place for you. For tonight's Monday Munchies, I walked over to one of my favorite study spots near campus. Tucked away on the corner of Hoover and 24th Street, Nature's Brew has a wide variety of options to cure your study cravings. And a week ahead of finals, this place was already packed. They bake fresh pastries twice daily, and I tried their best-selling breakfast sandwich, which was worth the hype. I also ordered their signature USC latte, and it was so delicious. Here's what
It's good food, good coffee. It's really close to where I'm living this year. Normally I study at home, but I will say finals week is the one time every semester where I try and find different places, either on campus or places like this around it. I got the Southwest breakfast sandwich, I believe. It was really good. It had like pork on it and some eggs.
Would you recommend?
I definitely would recommend. It was a good order.
So today, I actually brought back a few pastries for us, and Nature's Brew has a special 3 for $5 cookie deal, so I thought we'd try a few.
I'm really excited about this. Tell me what we have here.
So, okay, we have chocolate chip, peanut butter chocolate chip, a white chocolate cranberry, a lemon coconut, and then their seasonal scone.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, I mean, maybe we can invite everybody else up
it's
on
our
the
last show.
day.
Let's get the whole crew up here.
Okay, everybody, who wants a cookie?
We all got to take one. Just someone call dibs on something. I'm just going to go for this because it's right here.
I'll go for the chocolate chip.
I don't even know what I'm taking, but it looks delicious.
This is yummy. Nature's Brew is definitely an amazing study spot for anyone that's looking to beat the crowds and get off campus. I think it's a great thing. So should we cheers to the last
cheers
one?
to Team Monday.
Cheers to Team Monday. Wow. Well, thanks everyone for watching Annenberg TV News. For everyone here at Annenberg Media, thanks for watching on Monday nights. I'm Tess Patton.
And I'm Stephen Noble. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Have a great night.
Cheers.